listen, if I need help, you gonna hear me. I scream so loud, Jesus! Because if you ain't gonna help me, he is. So this black nurse ran up to the front. I think she was trying to figure out what was going on. And she was like, oh, she was here yesterday. Get her in the back, I have her paperwork, I have her stuff.
I worked on the labor and delivery floor before, and I seen things. I seen the treatment.
And especially when you're young, or if you look younger than you are.
Yeah, they don't be treating us right all the time.
We all deserve fair treatment.
What makes y'all think, oh, I'm just gonna mistreat that boy because he's black? That boy ain't did nothing to you. That child has done nothing to you. I just don't understand it.
Sitting like this in the wheelchair. The lady was like, well, we gotta get all your information. Woman in Black is where we put down the cape
and pick up the mic,
being authentically who we are,
where we are,
unmasked,
unfiltered,
and unapologetic. Hi everyone, we're back to our original setup.
Switching it up.
Yeah, let's check in. How have you been?
Well, guys, I've been, good, but I have some sad news. My puppy dog passed away. Rest in peace, Chomper T-Rex Jr. Jace named him. If anyone has any coping mechanisms for a 10-year-old boy sad about his dog, let me know. And whoever hit my dog and didn't stop, that was so inhumane of you. You could have at least stopped and said, oh my God, I'm sorry, something. You just don't hit. You know you hit that little dog. I'll definitely treat you better. But yeah, R.I.P. Chomper.
I'm not trying. I'm executing. Also, shifting. And that has been me for the last 3 or so months, like that shift, that adjustment, that change, transition. So I'm embracing it. I'm still moving through, but I feel calm in that. I understand what the vision for my next chapter is, and I'm just executing. So, and I had to embrace the process. I've accepted that. Oh, wow, this is what it's going to look like for the next 3 to 6 months, possibly, until things settle in. Anytime you're trying to build something, you have to be okay with the process and the fact that instant gratification is not always the outcome. So you just have to stay the course. So just reminding myself to stay the course. Hey, it's Des here. Before we continue, if you're a woman who does it all, sports mom, dance mom, beach girl, healthcare worker, someone whose life doesn't fit into one lane, you need a bag that can keep up. This episode is in affiliation with Bog Bag. It's durable, waterproof, modular, and fully customizable. Whether you're headed to the stadium, the beach, or straight into a long day, it holds your lifestyle together without you having to think about it. You'll find the link in the show notes and the comments. Now let's get back to the conversation.
So we're going to just jump right on in. My question is, why are Black women still fighting to be heard in delivery rooms in 2026? I'm going to let you take the lead because you've experienced a lot of different things. Like mine were all C-sections, no sickness, no nothing, like straight to the point. You know what I mean? So I think I was treated correctly. Not sure, right? We don't know now.
You never know.
You never know. But I didn't experience a lot of different things and having to be bedridden and you know what I mean? So I'll let you take the lead.
Yeah, I had very traumatic pregnancies, for sure. I think that there is, and has always been, a disconnect healthcare in the Black community. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it is training, a lot of it is cultural bias, and a lot of it is also education for us because we don't always know the right words or right ways to express what we need. And I say that because when you put in situations, doctors are trained in their bedside manners to hear certain things and react to those things, right? If we're not saying it, it's also an issue. But you want from the human side, if you see I'm in pain or if you see I'm this or that, I need you to react and respond with urgency. Mm-hmm. And that's what we want regardless. But I think it's important to throw that in there, that there are some things that we can do to kind of help further things along, and educating ourselves, educating our sisters, educating the husbands, the family, having birth plans, all of that stuff, because we know there's a cultural bias. Now, my personal experience, Lord have mercy, I have not had an easy pregnancy. I don't know what that is. I don't even know. But I would say my first probably was the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
I am the woman who, when you get pregnant, that hormonal shift, I would get hyperemesis, and that is like morning sickness times 10. Like where you're dehydrated, you threw up so much that you're dehydrated. You gotta go to the doctor, get an IV. You're dizzy. You don't feel like yourself. You almost feel like something's invading your body. Like as they say, when you're pregnant, that pregnancy is a parasite. It eats off of you. It eats off your vitamins. It drains you. And so physically, I felt every bit of that. I felt every bit of that. So my first experience, I was like, wow, I'm never going to get pregnant again. Like this, I would never. That's how I spoke to myself. Then 10 years later, I was like, oh shoot, what am I going to do? I was like, oh goodness. By that time I was like I was edging up on 30. So I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. I'm in my grown woman era now, right? My first pregnancy, I was 18. So imagine how difficult that transition was. And then, so at 28, I had Nia. And that was also an experience because during my pregnancy with her, I was notified that she had something called aberrant right subclavian artery. So the structure of her heart was different, and they caught it in fetal. So like during the fetal ultrasound, they caught it. I was aware of what they said because of my healthcare background. I understood, but you never think that your child's going to experience some type of abnormality where you don't know if she's going to make it. And so at 23 weeks, when the doctor did the ultrasound. It was actually supposed to be my 24-week ultrasound, but he did it a week before Christmas because my 24 weeks would have been on during the Christmas break. So he did it a week before. When they found it, they told me I had to make a decision on whether I was going to keep my pregnancy or not. The way I cried, the way I was confused, but the way that I had faith in God too, and because of my healthcare background, I knew that there was a chance, right? And so the issue with, they call it ARSA. The issue with ARSA is that it's more common in kids who either have like Down syndrome or trisomy X, which is these are genetic diseases that you can get. And so they weren't sure if she was going to come out with that. And so I had to prepare myself like, okay, if I move forward with this, there's a percentage that my child's going to come out with like a genetic issue, where she may not thrive, or where as a single mom of 2, will I have the support system to be able to take care of a child with special needs if that's what's happened. I had to suck it up, and I just went forward with the pregnancy. I talked it over with my family. I expressed to them what the issue was, and I had to exercise my faith. I got through it, but it was hard. And she came out, it's a lot, but she was rushed to the NICU because she had like respiratory failure. And from the ARSA, her right subclavian wraps around her trachea. Well, it's actually between her trachea and her esophagus. So she couldn't breathe. And so she was in a NICU for a few days. Luckily, she was able to leave with me. And when I tell you, I was trying so hard to like stay as long as I could, because I did not want to leave my baby in the hospital. I was like, with the day they said that I was leaving, I was taking my sweet time because I needed to hear from all the pediatricians, all that. I was like, I'm not leaving her. Like, I really want to hear back first on whether or not she could come home. So I was supposed to check out like 10, 11 or so. Girl, I ain't leave the house until like 7 o'clock at night because somebody was going to talk to me. And they let her come home with me. And now we just go to a cardiologist to stay on top of it. But she's asymptomatic, which means she has no symptoms. The only symptom she had was at birth, and she hasn't needed any surgeries. And we just kind of stay on top of that. And that when we talk about Black maternal health and that facet of things, my pregnancy still, I had hyperemesis with her too, so vomiting and all of that. I was still very sick. If it wasn't for my education in cardiovascular,
You don't think they would have broken? You would have.
I probably wouldn't have went forward with the pregnancy.
Right, because here it is. They'll tell you, they'll just give you that big word.
They'll give you the
what
stats,
it is,
the statistics.
but that's it.
Yeah, you don't have no more information.
No more information.
And so because I was familiar, I've seen these things before in real time on healthy children. When I was doing the echoes, the sonography of the children, I've seen healthy ones. I've seen, some that they're healthy. They just had a different genetic disposition. But I seen it. So I knew, she could fall. I don't care if it's 10%, 20%, but it's a possibility. But I also prepared if it didn't, happen the way that it did. I was trying to prepare myself mentally. But yeah, if I didn't know what I knew, I would have been so much worse. And I was bad.
Yeah. Here's the thing: they give you that big word, and I know this only because it's all over social media. It's all over social media, and I did have a few instances where they misdiagnosed my son, but he was. This is about maternal health, and he's my child, so it wasn't during my pregnancy. It wasn't when he was a baby. He was like 4 or 5, and they tried to put him on a medication, and it took over the hit, and I was like, so I had to do my own research.
Right.
But think about all the babies that come right out. This might sound messed up, but I think sometimes they purposely misdiagnose our kids.
Oh, yeah. They purposely misdiagnose us.
Yes. And it starts from when we're born too, into adulthood and all that. So if you don't sound educated and you don't ask the correct questions, they're going to let you a lot of times believe just what they want you to believe. And some of the things in my mind, in my opinion, those medications are not always needed for certain. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they just mishandle the medications. They just kind of do our kids like guinea pigs.
Ooh. I have a clinical research background, so hearing the word guinea pig in the Black community, this is a real issue. This is a separate conversation, but because of the historical nature of how they used to test on us and how in society we were the guinea pigs, and not just the Black culture, but it's deep-seated in the Black culture, let's be real. There were other ethnicities, there were other segments of the population, like prisoners and things like that, that were also used in clinical trials. But I think it groomed the mindset around, are you someone I can trust? And for Black people, I think that's a heavy question because history tells us that we can't trust medical professionals. And I know that, people in healthcare now work very, very hard to change that narrative, through training, through understanding how to approach different ethnicities, religions, everything. But we still have work to do. We have a lot of work to do.
Right. And it's just like, we can't group everybody together, right? Because not all white doctors have our worst interest in mind. And not all Black doctors have our best interest in mind. And not all, you get what I'm saying? So it's just like what I do, and I'm going to teach this, I'm going to help y'all. Before I'm seen, before my kids are seen, I always ask God to send his ministry angels before me and my children.
I know that's right.
Just go ahead, God, do your thing. Send them. And I have the spirit of discernment. So if something don't sound right, I'm going to question it. I'm going to go back to Des. I'm going to go back to somebody and I'm going to say, well, what you think about this? Somebody that's
get more information.
Somebody that's more educated in that area than I am, because I need to know what's going on. And that's sometimes as a culture where we are ignorant.
Yeah, we just don't know.
We just don't know. And a lot of us don't want to know. We just weren't taught.
Yeah,
to go get more information. It was just like, they're a doctor. I got to trust them because that's what they went to school for. It's okay for you to do your own little background. That's your body, your baby, your health, your baby's health, your children's health.
Just like, because again, with a background that started in cardiovascular, and we'll get back to maternal health in a second, but our body, it reacts different to certain medications than others. And listen, let's just be real. Black people, we like to eat, okay? Our soul food, we like to eat. And so when you have high blood pressure, or you have, a blocked artery and all these different things, and you get on certain medications, you have to understand, or you have to ask, listen, this is what I do. Have this been tested on Black people? Now, the doctors are always going to know the answer because the clinical scientists or the physician scientists are usually the ones who do that. And they share that information with the doctor so that they could make a conscious decision. Is this going to help you more than it will hurt you? Is having that disease going to hurt you, and giving you this pill going to extend your life or help you? And so that is really that simple. It comes down to, sometimes it comes down to, does the person want to live or don't they? Not the quality of life they're going to have while they're living. Some doctors will have more of that conversation. Some of them understand more, whether it be by experience or the population that they serve. But a lot of clinicians, they're doing process of elimination to help you. Like, it's all process of elimination. Like, Western medicine is a little different unless you're seeing like an integrative medical professional or a functional medicine doctor. They are treating your symptoms. They're not looking for the root cause. And that's hard. So, and to go back to maternal health, right? 3rd and 4th pregnancy, the hardest pregnancies ever. The hardest pregnancies ever. I was on bed rest. I couldn't move. So I'm sick. I'm sick. Throwing up. That number 3, they on me. She was just like this in my belly, just a big ball, just big. Okay, the thickness was thickening. Okay, it was just there. she was just thick. She was just thick. She's still thick. Okay, now. She was sitting on all type of organs and everything, but during that time, and I'm not afraid to share this. If you guys get sensitive about stuff, then just FYI, you might want to pause or think about how you want to approach this next part. But I had a shortened cervix. My cervix was shortening. I don't think that's sensitive to talk about, but maybe it triggers some people. But my cervix was shortening. And so what happened with that is I had to go to the doctor about every 2 days to get something called fibronectin checked. It'll let you know if your sac has been penetrated and they need to send you to the hospital. Like, are you going to go into premature labor right now? And I was working the whole time with my computer on my lap. My husband brought my bed down into the living room.
So you can have access
to everything. So I could get to the kitchen because he still had to work. So I could get to the kitchen. So I get to, everything downstairs, let the kids in from school, the basic stuff. But I made it through. Like, it was by the grace of God. I don't know how it worked out as long as I did. I was stressed out. And then it was my husband's first. He ain't know what he was doing. Our marriage was stressed. My identity was stressed. I gained so much weight. I couldn't move if I wanted to. Really had to roll over. But and that one was hard. That pregnancy was so hard. I couldn't smell food. I had to eat, like, I ate oranges. That was my thing. I ate oranges and salad. I couldn't cook for my husband. I couldn't cook for myself. Anytime I smelled something, like everything was a trigger. Everything was a trigger. Now they have medication for that.
Yeah, they do.
But I had to tough it out. And I told my husband beforehand, I said, I don't have good pregnancies. And what he experienced with me was twice as hard as the other ones. Like with Nia, of course, I had that issue, but it was just 10 times hard. Like I couldn't do for myself. I had to worry about Nia when I was pregnant with her, but with Naomi, I had to worry about me and her. Like I had to, it was disgustingly hard. But we got through it, and the same thing with DJ. Now, with DJ, that last one, I had my last 2 during COVID. The way I had to talk to these people for them to understand. And when you're in labor,
there's no calm me down.
There's nothing.
I don't know what it feels like, but there's no calm me down.
So you had all of yours were planned C-section?
So this is the thing. So I guess they did screw me over, right? My first one, Duty wasn't a planned C-section. He just wouldn't move. So when I went to go have Jalen, they never offered me the option to push Jalen out. Wait. They just said...
Because you had a previous C-section.
Because I had a previous C-section. But being so young, what I learned is, because I was so young, when I had Jalen, I was only 19. I still had the opportunity to push him out because they are so close in age. My body didn't heal all the way for the scar tissue to build up or anything. So I still had a chance to have something called a VBAC or something that is called where after you have your first C-section, you have an option to push the second one out. Now, after the third C-section, after that second C-section, there's no coming back really from that. There is, because there's a God. But I'm not ever gonna risk my life or my kids' life. You get what I'm saying? Like, right. So, but I did learn that. When I had Tyler, the doctor said, did you ever choose to have a second C-section? Were you asked to have a second C-section, or did they tell you? She was a midwife. And I said, they told me I had to have a C-section. And she was like, you didn't.
So that's very common.
Yes, and it's very common for us.
Yeah, because we don't know.
We don't know.
And I listen, I love a good midwife. I think it is so important to have one. I think it's so important to have a birth plan. I think it's important for you and your spouse, or even just you, if it's just you, to go through the classes, all of that.
So that's why, and that to go into that, like, that's why it's important to have, if you could go back in time, it's important to, those moments are so important to go through that. Have your kids with the right person and just have all of those moments, the midwife, the classes, all of that. That's important. To have that other opinion sitting there, you know, like
help guide you.
Because
the truth is, you know, back in the day, regardless of what was happening out in them fields, there were midwives. There were people that help guide you through the
whole process.
Because when we're giving birth, that is the closest we are to death.
That and a toothache.
I mean, you ain't never lied.
Those are hand in hand. Let me tell you.
But it depending on which one, it affects other parts of your body. What?
Hand in hand.
Yo, I'm crazy. But yeah, I think it's important to have a doula, something to kind of help you through if you can. We can't always rely on the words of our parents either.
Because they didn't know.
Yeah, because I think there's a gap in listen, I don't know what happened between our grandparents and our parents, but some of the information just didn't get filtered down properly. It just didn't happen.
Yeah, because when I was going to get my first C-section, my mom going to come over to me talking about, they about to cut you up and down, just like you did me. I was like, what?
Oh, God.
She just knew they were going to cut me like this. And my doctor came in and she was like, no, we're not. We're going to give her a small incision. And at that time, shout out to Dr. Huggins. She was a Black doctor and very great, very great. Like, she's the one, she wanted me to push him out. She wanted me to try. He just wouldn't. He was down there, but his shoulders were just so broad. he couldn't do anything. But then here it goes again with this whole, the pharmacy world, the insurance world. When my insurance dropped, I had to go on to the New Jersey state plan. So that's when I got some of the worst, the physicians that really don't care sometimes. You get what I'm saying? I'm just another number, another paycheck in there, a statistic, another young Black girl that then got pregnant again. That's all. They don't care. So I didn't have that guidance. But Dr. Huggins, she was on it from step. I know, because he was the biggest thing in there. All the other babies, they said, all the other babies was crying or they were getting baths, and Duty was just chilling. Big. Just big.
He's been here before.
Just big. Just in there chilling.
He said, this again?
For real. But so I had an awesome Black doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I did. OB. I had an awesome Black doctor. She's retired now. And then when I had to get off my mom's insurance, I had to go to the state insurance.
Right. I had my first two, I had the same OBGYN up until halfway through Naomi's pregnancy when I moved down here. So he was a white guy, very straightforward. Like, if you're going to just be straightforward with me, let me know. But I was with him from like 16 to 33.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he knew me. He understood. There was a respect there. My sister had the same one too. So we would just like, develop relationship with him. Now he was straight to the point, old school. He wasn't really trying to, he tell you what it is and you make the decision. Yeah, you better do your research. But when I moved down here, I had a Black doctor deliver Naomi and DJ. She was great. But my issues weren't with her. My issues were everyone up to her.
The nurses.
Like when it came to COVID, granted, we were trying to navigate a system that was not used to such a pandemic. Like, this was something new. But I'm in labor and my husband can't be there. You know what I'm saying? This is the day I went into labor, girl, is the day that they called the evening where they said 6 feet apart. The next morning, nobody was even wearing masks yet.
At that time, right?
Yeah, they just was like six feet apart. We're in the middle of closing on our house. I go into labor. I'm in the hospital. Dom is trying to sign a paper. It was a mess. It was a mess. But anyway, we get there. I'm screaming. I have something called a precipitous pregnancy. Meaning, if I'm telling you I'm in labor, this baby gonna pop out within 45 minutes to an hour. And that's what happened. So I'm at the window. I was there the night before for something. I was going to the darn hospital twice a week anyway to get the fibronectin check. Yeah. The hard part is that where I was going was on a different part of the hospital.
Yeah.
And the labor and delivery emergency room, they did have a special, I had to go to a specialty hospital, but these people weren't used to me. I screamed so loud because one thing I don't give a.
You can say damn.
I don't give a hootenanny.
She don't give a damn.
Listen, if I need help, you gonna hear me. I scream so damn loud, Jesus! Because if you ain't gonna help me, he is.
Exactly, right.
Let me tell you. So this Black nurse ran up to the front. I think she was trying to figure out what was going on. And she was like, oh, she was here yesterday. Get her in the back. Get her back. I have her paperwork. I have her stuff. Like, we were already trying to prepare, right? So they had everything. They knew that I was about to go into labor. My cervix was already shortened, but I wasn't dilated. That's why they sent me home. I wasn't dilating, which is crazy situation given that my cervix was shortened. But so I went home, came back, had to go through all of that unnecessary stuff. As soon as I get back, they asked me, oh, do you want epidural? Do you want Yes, I did.
Now?
Yeah, give it to me now because this baby will have to come out.
Right.
Give me epidural. Girl, I ain't feel that epidural. Well, all my kids, but I'm still going to try, right? That epidural came 5 minutes later, the baby out. So That epidural didn't kick in with none of my pregnancies. And I screamed the whole... One of the nurses came in there, was looking at me sideways like, do you got to do all that? Yes. Yes, I do and I did. And so Naomi popped out. Now my OB, she worked with me with Naomi. She had olive oil that she used all natural remedies. She used olive oil on me and all that. When I tell you that baby popped out, somebody might have needed to be on the other end to catch her, because she was just like right into the doctor's arms. Like, she just popped out. Ain't had too much there. She put olive oil there, boop. Caught her. Yeah, she was there. The last one, I screamed. I said, this baby about to come out. Soon as he about to come out, he turned. He flips.
Of course he would.
Of course.
Course.
I don't know if he just wanted to stay in there longer or he was dancing. I don't know. He flips. We thought it was going to be catastrophic, but he ended up, the doctor had to reach in there and turn him around and pull him out.
That's crazy.
I can think about it now. Again, epidural didn't kick in. Imagine somebody reaching into your body. My husband said he wasn't sure I was going to make it. I wasn't sure I was going to make it.
So guys, you've heard her story. What are some of your... okay, we're talking about Black maternal health. So in this episode, we want to hear from our Black women. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear not just negative stories. We want to hear the good, the pros and the cons of being a Black woman, having a baby in the United States of America.
And being overlooked. One thing I didn't mention with Nia, with my second pregnancy, the one with the ARSA, the heart abnormality, I was in that waiting room telling them that she was about to come. I was sitting like this in the wheelchair. I said, the lady was like, well, we got to get all your information.
Oh, I can't see.
I said, I sent it to you. We did the whole process. I'm screaming. I said, this baby is about to come. I have no more words for you. Look me up. Put me in that bed now, or else we're going to have a bigger problem, because I'm going to call all the administration. You don't know me. You don't know who I know. You don't know nothing. Get me back there right now. I'm not playing with you. I thought they was about to put me in a straitjacket, because I'm not playing with you. Because that's how I felt. Like 20 minutes later, Nia came out. I was about to have a baby in the waiting area.
And I worked on the labor and delivery floor before, and I seen things.
Right.
Yeah. I seen the treatment.
And especially when you're young, or if you look younger than you are.
Yeah. And I was young working on labor and delivery. So, yeah, they don't be treating us right all the time.
We all deserve fair treatment.
If you treat me good, first of all, if you are in the healthcare field, you have to be in there because that's your passion, right? You sign up to serve the community, regardless of the ignorance, you know what I mean? If they're not as knowledgeable as you are, like, you signed up to do that. And if you can't give your all to these people, like you signed up to do, like you went to school to do, you need to find a new career, because it's not fair. And maybe this is just me living in this fairy tale world sometimes, because I know this isn't how the world is, but what gives people the right to look at me and say, I don't want to help her because she's a Black girl? You know, like, I just don't understand. Like, I probably die at 130 years old, never understanding what makes y'all think, oh, I'm just going to mistreat that boy because he's Black. That boy ain't did nothing to you. That child has done nothing to you. I just don't understand it. But
stereotypes done put us all in a bucket. Exactly what we was talking about on that other episode about men clumping all women together.
Yes.
You know, it's in every area. And we just gotta kind of show people different, tell people different. Sometimes you get sick of it. But that's why I feel like I chose the field I chose. I'm just trying to navigate it differently now. Yeah, because it's just like I'm trying to do what I can from the inside.
Because we gotta show up.
Yeah, and we as people deserve better. Everyone deserves access. Everyone deserves fair treatment.
Right. But we as the people, we for some reason, we always have to show up 10 times more than the average person. So yeah, that's what I got.
All right, y'all. Listen, y'all know all my business
y'all
now.
Know her business. Y'all know her cervix short. Y'all know all the things.
It's short, y'all. It's short. These babies just don't want to stay in.
Right, it's short.
They was talking about trying to sew me up. I said, Can we?
Just wait.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just going to leave y'all with, do your research. If they give you a big word, astronomical, tropical, langorial, that's the word, find out what it means. Please find out what it means before you just sign on a dotted line that you agree to whatever this procedure is while you're pregnant.
Yeah, if you're able to get more information.
Yes, and the thing is, we have access to the information. If you don't know anybody, you know chat, you know Google, there you go. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. What you got for him? She left y'all with a lot today.
I already did,
yeah,
right?
She did.
But them birth plans, or listen, go online, make your own self one if you have to. Have a partner in this, whether it don't have to be the person, but you need an advocate. Anytime you're dealing with any type of health issue, crisis, whatever, have an advocate. Make sure you're honest with that person who's advocating for you too. I think that's very important. Let them know, like,
make sure it's somebody you really trust.
Yeah, somebody you trust. Yeah. Let them know what's going on. Because if you're ever in a position where you can't speak for yourself and the pain is just that hard, you need somebody to fight for you. Somebody who's going to have your best interest in mind. That's important. Bye.